Feeling a bit nervous about your first visit to Urban Surf City and not sure what to expect? Don't worry. In today's video, I will share some valuable tips I wish I knew before my first session. Surfing at Urban Surf isn't cheap, so my goal is to help you maximize your time in the water, catch as many waves as possible, and have a lot of fun. I've been to Urban Surf more than 20 times now, but during my first visit, I barely caught any waves because I didn't know the tricks I'm about to share with you in this video. So let's get started. This is not related to the waves, but is an important one. Parking at Urban Surf Sydney is free for 2 hours for Urban Surf guests. Don't make the same mistake I did and pay for it. There's a big sign saying that when you enter the parking lot, but I completely missed it and ended up paying $21 in my first 2 visits. It's easy to miss the sign because when you get there, you are so excited and you just keep looking at the waves. So take the parking ticket with you, and when you leave, validate the ticket in this little machine located at the reception, and then the parking will be free. It's important to arrive early, especially if it's your first visit. You will need to collect your wristband from reception, and there can often be long lines, especially on weekends. It's recommended to arrive at least 45 minutes before your session, but if it's your first time, I would recommend to arrive even earlier if you can. You will be required to sign a waiver. Consider signing it online at home beforehand. This small step will make the process much smoother. Feeling a bit anxious before your first session is completely normal, and you'll probably be. So arriving early gives you plenty of time to check in, change, stretch, and relax before hitting the water. And keep in mind, a mandatory safety briefing will take place 15 minutes before your session. This applies to everyone, regardless if it's your first time or not. So be sure to be ready for it. Urban Surf offers a wide range of facilities to make your visit even more enjoyable. This includes restaurants, change rooms with lockers, showers, and surfboard rentals. There's also a Rip Curl shop inside if you need anything. If you want to relax after your session, there is a heated pool. Now the fun part, the wave settings. It's very important for you to choose the right wave setting for your level. There are 6 different wave settings, and I will talk about each of them to help you to choose the right setting for you. No matter which setting you surf, understanding where the waves break and positioning yourself correctly is very important. I will show you where you should be positioned for each wave setting. The first setting is the cruiser. This setting is the smallest wave on the menu, and it's perfect for beginners and anyone looking for a mellow takeoff and ride. The waves are soft, slow, and forgiving, making ideal if you're just starting out or want to build confidence in a controlled environment. Think of it as the perfect place to work on your pop-up, basic turns, or just cruise along without too much pressure. The waves break at the green circle markers located at the middle of the pool, so make sure you are in the correct spot to catch the wave. The second wave setting on the menu is the progressive turns. This was the very first wave I surfed at Urban Surf, and it's really fun. It's on the smaller side with also a mellow takeoff and soft waves. It's perfect for surfers who've mastered the basics and are comfortable popping up on small waves consistently. Progressive turns is a step up from the cruiser, offering slightly more power and a great opportunity to start practicing basic maneuvers like small turns and cutbacks. Now the waves break at the end of the pool at the blue square markers. Position yourself a bit behind the blue square markers when we start paddling for the wave. As this wave does not have much power and it's not steep, you can get really close to the wall to make it easier to catch the wave. The next wave setting is the intermediate. This wave setting has two wave settings in the session. In the first 30 minutes of the session, the waves are very similar to the progressive tones with just a bit more power. And the wave also breaks at the blue square markers, so position yourself a bit behind the blue square markers when you start pedaling for the wave. If you already surfed the progressive tones, you won't find any surprises here. The downside of this wave setting, like the progressive tones, is that it loses its power and gets smaller pretty quick after the first section. In the last 30 minutes of the session, the wave gets bigger with a steeper takeoff. Now the waves breaks between the two diamond markers. Make sure you are behind the last diamond marker when you start pedaling for the wave. If you stay a bit further from the wall, it will be less steep and easier to take off, but if you stay very close to the wall, prepare for a steep takeoff. The intermediate session is suitable for surfers who master popping up and can comfortably ride a wave. The wave is perfect to practice all types of turns and generating speed. I made another video with more details about the intermediate setting. Check it out, I left the link in the description. The advanced turns is a step up from the intermediate setting. The waves are more powerful and the takeoff is slightly steeper than the second half of the intermediate setting. The waves also break between the two diamond marker, so position yourself behind the last diamond marker when paddling for the wave. Every 20 minutes, the wave setting changes and it gets a bit bigger. I didn't feel much difference in the takeoff, just in the shape of the wave itself. Different from the intermediate, this wave holds its size and power almost to the end of the wave. It has more vertical walls to work with and it's more dynamic. I'm an intermediate surfer who is still learning basic maneuvers like cutback, top turn, snap, and flowing better in the wave, and I surfed the advanced turns a couple of times, and so far it's my favorite wave I've surfed at Urban Surf. I made a full video discussing if intermediate surfers should try the advanced turn setting. Check it out, I also left the link in the description. Next setting is the advanced. This setting has two wave settings. In the first 30 minutes, the waves are exactly like the advanced turns, with steep sections for you to perform critical turns. In the last 30 minutes, it changes to the barrel mode, where you can catch some nice tubes. I particularly did not surf this setting yet, but I will give it a try soon. I've heard and analyzing the videos, the takeoff for the barrel setting is less steep than the advanced turns. Once you pop up, you still have some time to position yourself into the barrel, or you can even perform some turns. The expert setting is the last and most advanced setting. The full 1 hour session is all about barreling. I believe it's the same setting of the last 30 minutes of the advanced turns, where you just focus on getting barreled. Not entirely sure if there is any change between the advanced setting and the expert one. Can you hit the bottom when you wipe out? So far, I've surfed progressive turns, intermediate, and advanced turns, and I wiped out a couple of times, and I never hit the bottom, not even once. I've heard that the only wave setting that you can actually hit the bottom is the barrel setting. Urban Surf provides free helmets that you can borrow if that will make you feel more comfortable. Now I'm gonna share some really valuable tips. The first one is use the rip current to your advantage at Urban Surf to save energy and get to the lineup effortlessly. A common mistake first-timers make is paddling straight through the waves and getting exhausted pretty quick. There is a rip current close to the walls that if you use it, it's gonna be much easier and you're not gonna use so much energy. The next tip is when you wipe out, it's important for you to get out of the impact zone as quick as possible, as other surfers will be dropping in. Just move close to the wall and catch the next white water to help you to get into the inside. Being close to the wall outside the impact zone is the safest place to be. You will get hit by the waves, but at least it's not a surfboard. Never paddle across the wave to get back to the lineup after a wipeout. It's dangerous and can put you in the path of the other surfers, risking collisions and disrupting their rides. Instead, stay out of the way by using the white water to guide you toward the rip current, which will safely and efficiently take you back to the lineup. This keeps everyone safe and ensures a better experience for all. Do not skip the line. Everyone will have their turns. If you wipe out, go back to the line. As I mentioned before, this is one of the most important tips. Positioning yourself in the right spot for each wave setting will make you to catch much more waves. When someone is already paddling to catch the wave, it's important for you to be already in the position for the next wave. The previous wave kind of push you a bit forward and you have some time to adjust to be in the sweet spot. From the intermediate setting above, the closer you get to the wall when taking off, the steeper the takeoff will be. If you want a more gentle takeoff, even for advanced settings, just be a bit away from the wall and position yourself a bit forward. If you follow all these tips, you should be safe. As I mentioned before, unless you're surfing the barrel setting, it's pretty hard to hit the bottom. I personally never hit it. The most dangerous thing, in my opinion, would be another surfer running into you if you are on that wave, or if you fall very close to the wall, you could potentially hit your head. So always protect your head and don't be in the impact zone. I've surfed at Urban Surf more than 20 times and I've never hurt myself, all by following these guidelines. If you want to know more about the prices and if it's worth it spending your money at Urban Surf, check it out my other video that I also left in the description. That's all for today. I hope you guys have a nice time on your first time at Urban Surf and these tips helps you to catch more waves. Let me know in the comments how did you go. So see you in the next video.